Welcome back to Sustainability Live. I'm delighted now to be joined by Crista Buznea from Ecology. I wondered maybe if you could just introduce yourself, your role and your company to our viewers.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here at such a fantastic event today. Crista Buznea from Ecology. I'm head of marketing. Ecology is a B Corp. We're a social enterprise helping businesses transition to net zero. We're a climate action platform. We became B Corp certified in December and are in the top 5% businesses with B Corp for the environment and governance. Work with businesses like Vodafone, BBC, AXA to support them on their sustainability journey. And I was mainly here today on a keynote to talk about the difference between carbon neutrality and net zero, which is one of those topics and some of those key terms that are used a lot nowadays in campaigns and in products, and they're used interchangeably, but actually the difference between them is just an ocean apart. So that was the focus for today.
So, I mean, you delivered your keynote to a packed auditorium, and the title of it was Net Zero, the first step is the hardest. So what is the first step and why is it so hard?
I think it's hard because we did a bit of a research earlier this year, and we heard that 80% of businesses want to take action, but they don't know where to start. And I think the first step really is committing and making a decision that you're going to tackle this problem head on. With carbon neutrality, what we see is and net zero is that these terms are used interchangeably, but actually one is about investing in offsets, and actually the science-based target initiatives has said to us, investing in high quality offsets is important, but that's just a short-term solution. So with net zero, we see that the standard asks for businesses to reduce their carbon emissions by 90%. So literally flattening the curve. Sorry, I know that term has been heard a lot over the past couple of years in a different context, but it requires that deeper reduction. And the first step really is committing to do a carbon footprint analysis so that you understand what your emissions are right now, what are the sources, so that you can go, okay, that's a big problem with business travel. How do we tackle that? Or we have a lot of our emissions that are coming in from waste. What is it that we can do over there? So you then go down the rabbit hole, but committing is the first step. And sometimes when you don't know what to do, that's why you're confused. So that's what we're guiding businesses to do, to commit first.
So I was interested to hear you say earlier on, it was the title of your keynote, the difference between carbon neutrality and net zero. I'm guilty myself of using those terms almost interchangeably. Where am I going wrong? Where are other people going wrong in thinking in that way?
I think these standards are only being developed right now. So the net zero standard has come up with a refresh literally in the last 12 months. So these terms have existed for quite a really long time, and we're writing the history as we're living it. So I think that's part of the challenge, and there's so much jargon in the industry, it's quite easy to get confused. But to kind of simplify it, you can achieve carbon neutrality today. You can achieve it for a product. As long as you understand the carbon footprint of a business, you can fund carbon offsets and achieve that carbon neutrality badge today. To achieve net zero, it's a long-term goal. Why is it long-term? Is because you have to achieve that deeper 90% decarbonization of emissions. So you have to do all of that hard work to understand what is it that you can change as a business. What are the biggest emission hotspots that you have? And then you start working towards those. And then once you've reduced your emissions by 90%, that you have a leeway of about 10% that you can offset or compensate with carbon removals, which are different from offsets. They're credits that essentially remove carbon out of the atmosphere. So it's a completely different technology to just standard offsets.
I shall bear that in mind for the future. So on to the thorny subject of greenwashing. First of all, how widespread is it, would you say? And also, what can companies do to ensure that they're not falling foul of it?
Yeah, I think it is quite a broad issue. We see it a lot nowadays, but I also, as a communicator, I see the flip side of it. I see a lot of businesses that want to communicate their impact, that have a lot of fear about celebrating what they're doing because they think they'll be criticized. So here are some ways where they can combat that. I think uh, being specific and using specific language that's quite material. We've achieved B Corp. We are working towards becoming carbon neutral or net zero, and then backing that up and sending your readers, your viewers, to a source or to a website where all of your information is collated is critical. Also, making sure that you're not providing like sensationalist and finite claims. You're saying we've achieved this, but we know that we must do more. In the world of sustainability, progress is not perfection. And a lot of the time, companies go out there with messages that have said, we've achieved this period, and then they get a lot of criticism afterwards. So using language that essentially celebrates and then says, we will do more. We're not stopping here. This is just the start of the journey. Then creates more of a balance in terms of people saying, oh, okay, these guys are doing some good work, but they know that they're not perfect. So language is very, very important.
Now, there are a lot of large multinational companies here with big sustainability departments who are driving forward the agenda. But of course, there are tens of thousands, not millions, of small to medium-sized enterprises who have no sustainability departments at all. And I believe that Ecology has launched a platform to help such companies move forward on sustainability. I wondered if you could just tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Yes, we did. We saw some research earlier this year that from the British Business Bank that actually 50% of the emissions in the UK come from SMEs of 250 employees or less. And what we know is big corporations can afford to hire big sustainability teams. They have carbon accountants, but SMEs don't. Yet we've heard that figure that they account for 50% of the UK emissions. So at Ecology, we wanted to make it easy for SMEs to do their carbon accounting, carbon footprinting for free, and make this accessible to the masses. So we're just about to launch, we're in beta testing right now, Ecology Zero, which is essentially a carbon accounting platform. It taps into carbon accounting, into accounting software like Zero with an X or QuickBooks, which SMEs already use to do their basic finances and accounting. And Ecology Zero essentially pulls that financial data and then it converts it into carbon footprinting. So you're able to see which of your suppliers generate the biggest emissions, and then businesses can then start setting targets towards net zero.
Crista, Buznea, Ecology, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.